Anxiety when you look up for different reasons in the Middle East. This is almost 2 weeks now that 16 News Now has been walking you through the rapidly evolving developments out of the Middle East, specifically between Iran and Israel. As you take a look at the shots there to my right, we're the only team in town hearing from you, local viewers out there, and local experts on the matter and what could happen next, right? And now, after this past weekend's surprise U.S. attack on Iranian nuclear sites, the U.S. is now technically part of this conflict. I talked to Asher Kaufman, professor of history and peace studies at the University of Notre Dame, and we started with that surprise attack by the U.S. and if Iran still has any nuclear capabilities right now. Where's the uranium? Was that discovered? Was that a part of this operation from over the weekend? Is it still out there? Is there a bomb that is still being made? It seems like there's a lot of uncertainty within the intelligence agency. Can you add a little bit of perspective onto that and how that is playing a role in what we're seeing right now?
Well, there are reports that they have moved their uranium to another facility. So that is one possibility. And that will, I think, determine in the long run our assessment of the extent of the success of this operation. If Iran is still able to resume its nuclear plan, let's say 6 months from now, this entire operation, we would be able to say that it had failed, in fact.
We are hearing that some of the missile defense systems in Qatar yesterday were aided by the U.S. You talk about what happened over the weekend involving the U.S.'s operation and getting to those nuclear locations, those nuclear facilities in Iran. Is the United States at war with that country right now?
I think President Trump doesn't want to say it this way. I think Iran right now wants to avoid seeing it this way. This is why their response at the American Air Base in Qatar was measured. So I don't think that we are in this situation right now, but
you and I both know that that's semantics at the end of the day, right? So I guess based on your history, based on your knowledge, what do you think this is?
We have seen now a deterioration in the relationship between the United States and Iran, and that could have a negative effect in the future.
Final question for you here, Asher, Professor. What happens to the United States? What happens to people here at home? People want to know, does this affect me? Does this affect my dollars? What is the immediate impact and long-term impacts of what we're seeing happening overseas and the U.S.'s involvement right now?
If we reach now indeed a ceasefire, if it stabilizes, then I do not foresee an immediate impact on the United States. If the situation if the parties go back to war and if it affects the flow of oil from the Persian Gulf, then Americans would see an impact. It could impact their issues such as the prices of oil, gas. It could impact other matters that relate to global commerce. And this is where things could become really, really sensitive. And I think this is also why Trump wants this episode to be over, because he's thinking like, a businessman. Professor
Asher Kaufman, we appreciate you so much for joining us and talking about this and adding context, critical context to a rapidly evolving situation. Thank you, Professor.